Hey, it's Ron again. I wanted to make another mental health video and wanted to talk about uh, imposter syndrome. And that's a term I heard most recently. This was, a few months ago. I was watching an interview on a podcast with the actor Clancy Brown. And some of you might remember, Clancy Brown was the Kurgan in Highlander, the big bad guy in Highlander. He was also the prison guard, the big bad prison guard in Shawshank Redemption. And he's usually been one of the bad guys because he's a big guy and everything. But he was talking about getting his first few big breaks, and if I remember right, he said Highlander was really his first big break. And when he was chosen for the part, he said he was so surprised that he felt that an imposter syndrome, like he didn't belong, even though he had paid his dues, he had put in his work and training and everything as an actor. Just when he got that big break, and then he had a similar feeling. He said when he was chosen for the role in Shawshank Redemption, because he auditioned, but he thought he blew the audition because he couldn't force himself to be mean enough in the audition. And he saw all these Oscar winners that were cast in the movie, so again he felt like he didn't belong. But then he had to remind himself that, no, here's a really great director and these other great actors who obviously they do think he belonged, or they did think he belonged. So I've been getting similar feeling here lately with my mental health advocacy, because this year has progressed so much. First in January, being chosen to be a peer support specialist at these Recovery 101 seminars I've been speaking at. And then that was followed, that I'm still doing those, but in the spring, NAMI Days of Action, and getting a lot of kudos for that. And now that I've been chosen as a workshop presenter at the NAMI Texas State Convention in November, I know what Clancy Brown was talking about, that feeling of that, getting that imposter syndrome, that maybe you don't belong. But the thing is, when I look at that I have been, just like him, I have been putting in the work. And excuse that extremely loud truck going by. Wow, put a muffler on it, dude. Dallas, it never ends. But I have been putting in the work, and I do have that, what NAMI, National Alliance of Mental Illness, and other organizations, what they call lived experience with all the mental health conditions I've had to deal with over the years. I have that lived experience, and I've been putting in the work this year and getting training for it and all that. And that inner voice, that naysayer that is telling you maybe you don't belong, well, that's what my therapist calls the propagandist, the monger. I like that term, the monger. And she told me several times, the propagandist is lying to you, the monger is lying to you, that you do belong. And I remember a similar trajectory when my first few years of competitive running, because I started out pretty modestly, freshman track in high school, and I was not bad, because I had been running on my own for a few years, but I wasn't anywhere near the level of a lot of other freshman distance runners, because I started out with the mile. But what I did is I just kept doing what I was doing, putting in the work, and rapidly improved. What Pat Riley, former Lakers coach Pat Riley, in his book The Winner Within, what he calls the innocent climb, where I was just doing what I was doing, working hard, had a big goal in mind, and I rapidly ascended from mediocre freshman runner to, by the end of my, well, really, by the end of my sophomore cross-country season, I was one of the better cross-country runners in the district. And by the end of my track season, I was moving up as well, and it continued through my junior and senior year. So the pretty rapid ascent. And there were times I felt like I was so astonished how quickly it was unfolding. There were times I felt like maybe I didn't belong, but I knew that I did. And I had a similar thing with my journalism. Started out with it at Eastfield Community College and then Richland Community College in Dallas. And same type of thing. Started out with the campus newspapers, the Richland Chronicle. Started out with writing a few editorials for them, and won an award for one of those. Won a Dallas County Community College District award for one of my editorials. And then the following year moved over to, actually 2 years later, moved over to UT Arlington, started winning awards for my writing there. But it wasn't too long after that I was at the Dallas Morning News. I was doing stuff for the Dallas Morning News, stuff for the Dallas Observer, Fort Worth Star-Telegram, just growing. And it was fairly rapid climb. Looking at the time, it didn't seem rapid for sure, but looking back, that was a fairly rapid climb, and had a lot of success with that. But it was the thing I was so busy paying my dues, so busy working hard towards those goals, I wasn't consciously thinking about it. I wasn't on the outside looking in. Now I can look back. So I'm seeing a similar trajectory with my mental health advocacy, and I have to ignore the naysayers, and I especially have to ignore that inner voice, the propagandist that says, oh, you can't do this, or you don't belong, or whatever. And I'm passing this on, I'm sharing this because I get the feeling this is a fairly common affliction. I'm sure I'm not the only person that has to deal with this, particularly if you've been dealing with any mental health conditions. You might struggle more with those kinds of things. So it's that thing, just keep working hard. And I'm reminding myself, as the NAMI Texas State Convention rapidly approaches, I'm going to have to put together a really good presentation. I'm confident I can do it, but there's still sometimes that little doubt that creeps in, and I have to ignore that. So just telling everyone, excuse me, I just ran several miles. It's a very warm night, so I'm a little sweaty and my mouth is a little bit dry, but just keep moving forward. And my mom always said, onward and upward. And just develop that confidence in yourself. And it is that repetition, whether it's running every day, riding every day, working toward whatever goal it is, working towards that goal every day, that ends up giving you that base of confidence. So you have to listen to that voice. And my therapist calls it the wise one. The wise one that tells you, look, you deserve this. You've done all this work. You can do this. You've done these things before. You can do this. So just listen to the wise one. Ignore the propagandist or the monger. And everyone, remember that we are luminous beings. Y'all take care. Bye.